Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, leave me a comment. That all helps my algorithm. Check out membership. This month, on top of all the readings that I do for members and the channelings, the live raw channelings, angel channelings, all of that, that whole list of lives is in the community tab. We also do a Mediumship Circle. We do, lots of different things. But the special thing that we're doing this month is on the 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern is a psychic development class. So for all of those of you who's looking to boost your intuition, your psychic abilities, that sort of thing, that class is for you. So you can sign up for that. And if you can't make it that day, that's okay. All of my classes, all of my channelings, everything is always on demand, because once it's uploaded, I put it into a playlist. So at the end of this video, I'm going to announce who won the free reading giveaway, because as you remember, I wanted to thank all of you for getting me 1.1 million views in 2022. So at the end of that, I have my laptop here. We will see who gets selected. Members, your free drawing for the brand new set of the Radley Valentine Archangel Michael cards, that will be in the community tab. Always check out the community tab, because that's where I list everything that's up and coming, anything that's important, links for members' videos, because members don't really get notifications when I go live, right? So you need to go to the community tab and see what's going on. I always post things ahead of time, of course. So let's get down to business. In this video, we're going to look at the 2023 presidential candidates, the people that I think are going to be contenders for Biden. People that are going to be running up against him from the Republican Party. Now, I'm going to pretty much skip over Mike Pence, because I really haven't been feeling much towards him. I can pull a couple of cards, but I don't really think he's a serious contender. I don't think it's really something he wants. I'm not feeling any excitement or enthusiasm coming from him when it comes to this. It's a little tough to tell though, right? Because I think in general, he's not that kind of person anyways. He doesn't give off a ton of energy. But we can look a little bit closer at it. He also didn't file to run in December of 2022 when everybody else was filing. He did not file. But he's also saying he's not saying no. So who knows? So we're going to be looking at 3 governors. Interesting how they all end up being governors. DeSantis, Sununu, and Hutchinson. Some of those you may have heard more than others. One is going to be a very cold read for me, Hutchinson. I know very little about him. I did a little research, so I know enough to tell you about him, but he's not someone that I've ever looked at before either. So let's take a look at DeSantis. He's the governor of Florida. He's serving his second term there. He's on the younger side. He is 44 years old. I don't know if anybody caught some of the pictures or videos from his inauguration, but he made it look very presidential, didn't he? He literally got sworn in on Glenn Beck's Bible. And if you don't know Glenn Beck, he is the conservative radio show host. And you probably heard about the drama between DeSantis and 45. That relationship has turned sour. So DeSantis has done a lot of things that I think many of us disagree with. We're not too big of a fan of his. And chances are, if you're watching my channel, he is not somebody that you would want to ever see as president. But I don't think he's going to get in. Let me just say that. So a lot of this has to do with relationship building. So the contacts, contracts, relationships, all of that he has been working on over the last, I would say, and I don't know why I'm saying it, but 3 years. So I think he had his eye on the prize for quite some time. I think he's wanted bigger and better things for sure. And I don't think we've heard the last of him. Okay. Yes, of course, he'll stay being governor. But at the same time, I don't think we're done hearing about him running for election. So I don't think he's going to be president in 2024. I think in 2024, we're heading towards fourth density even more. I don't think any of these people are going to get in, but I think we need to just sort of look at what's going on with them so we know what's ahead of us. What are we going to be seeing on the news? What are we going to be faced with? His obstacle. He's not a happy man. Now, I read on him before. This has come up before. He's not really in a good way. This is the card of peace, love, and happiness. 10 of Cups. You know, it's the happy family, the husband, wife, the 2 kids, the beautiful rainbow. And that comes up in the obstacle position. So for those of you not familiar with me, my second card is always obstacle. You know, whatever is like the person's challenges, that's my second card, because I don't do reversals. I don't like reversals. Because it always seems contrived to me. There's only one way to get reversed cards, and that is to reverse them. So I don't like doing that. So he's very undecided about a lot of things. He's also a bit disillusioned. So I think he's probably having some delusions of grandeur. He certainly did construct that scenario when he was sworn in. And he really needs to be better grounded than what he is. However, here comes the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is a very slow moving card. I always say this is the slowest moving card in the deck, right? Because when you look at this knight compared to the other 3 knights, this horse's hooves aren't going anywhere. The horse isn't moving. There's no movement with this card. And so when you're asking the question, well, is he going to be president? He's not going anywhere. So, okay, so I think that kind of clarifies that one. Let's take a look at Governor Chris Sununu. He's the governor of New Hampshire. He has come out and publicly said 45 cannot win. So, you know, he's kind of already taken some jabs there. He's having conversations about running for president on Fox News. He's done that several times now. And he's serving a 4th term up in New Hampshire. So let's take a look at him. I do think he is driven. I certainly think he wants it. But at the same time, I don't know how committed he is to it either. Like, he's saying things such as, you know, oh, it's kind of nice that people are saying that they would like me to run, and, you know, not quite as bombastic as DeSantis. But also, too, not quite as quiet and laid back as Pence. Okay, so let's take a peek here. Interesting. I'm going 4 cards out. So yeah, I mean, this is very interesting. So he has, like, I think a lot of the American dream sort of mentality behind him, wanting things to be a certain way. And that will appeal to a certain base of America, right? That will. So there would be a certain amount of Americans that like him. I mean, let's face it, he's on his 4th term in New Hampshire. So there is a certain amount of people that like him. But look at his obstacle, the Magician. So the Magician is great when he's in a positive light, right? When he's not the obstacle, when he's not reversed. When he comes up as any sort of obstacle, it means that there's an abuse of power. Because magicians don't make their magic by happenstance. They use it, they create it, I should say. They create their magic by intentions, okay? And so there is some kind of abuse of power here going on, something that we haven't heard. So I would say there's a scandal afoot. Now, when it comes to DeSantis, if some of you are like, well, how come you're not talking about all the scandals with him? Because I feel like I've covered it so many times. I mean, yes, we know that there's so many scandals coming with him. I think he's going to be fraught with scandals. And, you know, whether he's going to be able to stay the full term as governor remains to be seen. I don't think he would ever leave willingly. That's why I said, well, I don't really see him going anywhere, because he's not going to leave willingly. But is there enough garbage that he has done and accumulated? You know, because I do see that it's going to be a problem for both DeSantis and Abbott. Abbott is the governor of Texas. where they've done things like put the migrants onto planes, literally like trafficking humans. It's just disgusting. So his two outcome cards, so this is for Chris Sununu of New Hampshire, still, like, his outcome is that he still doesn't have a good solid plan. And something about this scandal that's coming up that's causing him a lot of worry, stress, anxiety, grief, sleepless nights. So nothing presidential here, okay? There's nothing that makes me think, well, he has any great shot at it. It's like, I think he starts chugging forward, everything's going okay, and then something happens. So, and if you're from New Hampshire, you may know what that is. I don't know the details. I just know that I feel like something's coming. Okay. Now, this is one that I said was going to be a cold read because I've never heard of this person before. Asa Hutchinson. Asa Hutchinson. He is the Arkansas governor. And interestingly enough, he identifies as a Puritan. Now I'm a New Englander, right? I mean, this is like where it all started. And I didn't even know that we still had Puritans or puritanical churches, because I'm like in the old part of New England, like the original part, like, so I didn't know that we still had folks that were that conservative, and he is extremely conservative. So let's take a look at Hutchinson and see what's going on with him. Then I'll pull a couple of cards for Pence, and then I'll do the drawing, okay? Annie is doing well, by the way. I just gave her medicine. She takes her medicine every night. But she's eating well. She's playing. And Maggie, too. Maggie's doing great. Both my kitties. Okay. This energy feels a little strange to me. Interesting. He's the one that may actually get to be like the furthest in all of this. He's going to at least be able to hold his own, but there is something coming with him too. So interesting. What I'm finding interesting is Sununu got the Star. And like I've told you before, the Star and the Empress are my two cards for the U.S. I know other people see it differently. That's fine. But Hutchinson gets my other card for the U.S., the Empress. So he does have some of those very staunch original ideas that, some of our ancestors had. Yikes, right? I mean, scary stuff here. His obstacle, though. Now, this card has to do with conforming, being like, bringing things back to how they used to be, right? Because this is the only card that only has children. So he wants to take us back to a different time. The good old days that really weren't good for women or people of color or anyone that was remotely different. Certainly not the LGBTQ community, right? So he wants to bring us back to that. However, he's going to work hard. He is somebody who is meticulous. He is detail oriented. But there is some kind of strife and battle coming for him. He is not going to get the support that he would be hoping for. Here he is on all alone on a hill, fighting a one-man battle, but yet he's still going to keep plugging away and plugging away. So once again, none of these cards are presidential. If you noticed, we didn't get any kings. We didn't get the Hierophant or the Emperor. We didn't get any strong cards like that. We got the Magician, but he was in the obstacle position. So I don't feel great about these people going very far, but do I think that we're going to keep hearing about them ad nauseum. And yes, I'm going to pick a couple of cards for Pence. Let's just see what's going on with him. I haven't read on him for a bit. Let's take a little gander, see what's going on. You know, reading on him is just very strange because, you know, like I said, I read energy and he doesn't exude any energy really. He's very flat. I mean, talk about puritanical, you know. So he's at a crossroads and he can't decide. You know, and I always say, like with this character, she's choosing to keep the blindfold on. There are some things that he has chosen not to look at, not to deal with. And so when it comes to running for president, he's just like shrinking. Like, okay, I don't think I want this, you know. He's pulling away. His obstacle is he gets stabbed in the back. Look at that. Now, I think the most obvious conclusion would be it's 45, right? 45 is going to try to sell him down the river. No surprise there, okay? Especially after everything that happened with Jan 6. You know, 45 really did set him up to be harmed by those protesters. And then I'll go 4 cards out. Something is going to happen with him. So, I mean, the Tower's not great when it's in your outcome. So there is change and upheaval. And I'm going to pull one more card to ask what it is about. And it's about a relationship. It's about a relationship. And so I think it's pretty obvious who that is. So the stabbing of the back, the Tower, having to do with a particular relationship, I think that's pretty obvious. You know, that's 45 doing his thing. So, once again, I don't think we're done hearing from Pence's legal calamities, we'll say. So I got my laptop going on here. Let me pick a number. If I can pick one up, they're all like sticking together. Okay. It is, beautiful. Number 11, which is a nice master number. So let me count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It is Sophie Edwards 5975. So Sophie, send me an email at dianestarot@gmail.com and I will set you up with a reading, okay? All right, so congratulations, Sophie. Thank you, everybody, for watching and have a beautiful weekend. Bye, everyone.